Hey YouTube, I've got my friend here who's he sounds as if he's a Trump supporter. Anyways, I don't know what else to do with him. He's he's on the end of this sort of, I don't know. He goes on both two different directions. He sort of takes it from the perspective that he thinks right wing person every right wing politician, that's safe, and the left wing are all evil. And then the other perspective he has is a ton of verses. This guy's name is Lee, and I don't see any reason to put up with this. So he's saying that the vaccines are killing people. Uh, the masks are a petri dish. I don't even think he knows what a petri dish is. Isolation kills people. The idiocy of this, we've had um, over 1,000 years of these pandemics, and communities have definitely isolated themselves during a pandemic. So I have a hard time believing this guy has thought this through. Um, in the times of the Romans and the Greeks, when a infectious boat would try to dock, they wouldn't let it because they didn't want the infection running through the town. So I've asked Lee to show me, where in the world are you getting, like, where are you coming from? You're attacking two or three specific people from Oxford, and I don't understand why. You think you're attacking the viruses in general, but the viruses aren't the viruses in general. You think you're attacking vaccination in general, and you're not. You're attacking two very specific, very particular, or not two, you're attacking a group of particular scientists and researchers that developed a vaccine for Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada. And you say the Bible says don't do it? You really think the Bible has anything? The Bible is not concerned about vaccines. That's not part of biblical. The Bible says just the opposite. Do not listen to your pastor. Good grief. Um, there's a lot of assumptions here. Like, just in this, and this is one of, just in this email, I think you were up to almost 70 different emails back and forth. So I want to start this off by saying, yeah, a bunch of emails, and there's a bunch of Bible verses, and he says that, do you listen to your pastor? As if I have a personal pastor that I own. Uh, your president in crimes. Um, Lee, uh, this is Canada. We don't actually have a president. Um, there is no president. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Trump? You talking about Biden? Those are American presidents, and we're in Canada. We actually don't have presidents. And which pastor do you think I'm listening to? Um, I don't know which names you want to name, but I'm going to name you out, Lee, because you're attacking all these people. I don't even know which pastors you're trying to attack or which presidents you're trying to attack, but I don't see any reason to allow this. Like, you're attacking people for no reason. So show me this sensei, your gurus, your voodoo spirits, your presidents, your pastors, and all the stuff on the wrong side. Now, what I asked Lee is, do you have any concept of who you're attacking? Are you understanding the name of the person you're attacking when you say the specific virus sent specifically to Winnipeg is killing people? and it's a deliberate attack. These guys, these researchers spent more than a year. Over this last year, they spent their hard time and work doing this. And you want to spit in their face. And so this email here, the one you're reading right here, this came to me 2 days ago, March 20th at 8:21 p.m. So that'd be in the evening. I will let me have a look here. Let's just look and see. I'm going to get to some of the other emails. But this is just the start of this insane person who thinks that I would bother to listen to some sensei, a guru, a voodoo spirit guide, or president or pastor to get my information that vaccines are like okay. And none of these are true. I read through tons and tons of paperwork and stuff. The details of these universities, the scientific research, and you're willing to say that you have some special insight, right? My insight is from hundreds and hundreds of pages. You could spend the next year researching these vaccines to find out which ones are good and which ones are bad, why they didn't work, what they do. But I don't think you care. And Lee, this is where I'm calling Lee out. Lee, I don't think you spent one day looking up who you're attacking. You have no idea about this vaccine from Oxford that's coming to Winnipeg. You have no idea about you have not taken a video footage of the place it's made in India. You don't care. You're trying to be like, well, all of the vaccines are horrible. No, you don't get that. You're not the expert. So you don't get to suddenly say this. And you're trying to imply to me that you are an expert, that I should ignore all the paperwork, all the universities, all these people who have spent their entire lives studying vaccines, so that you can speak and you say, well, I've got the Bible. And you've sent me countless emails of rambling, of weird rambling. So anyways, this is the first video of this crazy, crazy person who comes at me on the internet. So this is video 1, and we're looking at the latest email he sent me. I'm going to create more videos, and we're going to look at this person who's actually, when you talk to him in person, he's actually fairly coherent. And you can ask him what he meant, and he'll look at you like, I don't know what you're talking about. And to me, it's this weird thing. Like, he sends me these emails. I ask him, like, okay, name the person of this vaccine from Oxford. If you're so certain that these guys are the epitome of evil, and they're like, God's on one side, they're on the other side, right? And they spent this last year with this evil plan where they're going to inject you with something completely evil, and it's going to overthrow your will, your free will. Yeah, and then I ask them, like, do you know the name of the person? And there's this is craziness. The more I ask, like, do you get it? Do you understand that you're talking about real people, a real person? There's a real group of people that actually really worked on this. And Lee's response is, well, is this, since you wanted questions, here are some questions, right? He will never ever reveal these people because he doesn't know who they are. He's making crap up. So I'm a relentless. Yeah, I'm definitely. a relentless hound on details. And I will sit and read 100 pages in a day if I need to read 100 pages. I will go through and I will exhaust Google searches on any subject. So if you're wondering how I get to my truth, I will set up a pile. Just go through item after item after item, and I will read through and read through and read through. And very often, when I can read it almost immediately. It's so easy to tell. When you have somebody who doesn't know at all what they're talking about, they're generally talking, and they write in a high school, no, not a high school, in an elementary level. They're at, like, you listen to Trump. Trump was no expert on these things. And when he talked about stuff, he'd use the wrong words. He would not, it didn't match up with scientists, with the way a scientist would talk, the way an academic would talk. And very often, if you can't talk in an academic way, I don't believe you're an academic. And then you discard it. And much of what Trump would say, I would discard just outright. You know what? Lee's name is on here already. We can go back through other emails. Anyways, I will, this is my first response. And I just realized his name is on here. So everybody else you can all talk to this weird person. Anyways, I'm not going to block it out. There's no reason to. You are at an insane level. The vaccines aren't killing people. Well, okay, it's true. The vaccines have killed what, 0.0001 or something like that percent of the population, like um, uh, something like one in 100,000 or 2 in 100,000 that get the vaccine are getting, well, they aren't dying, they're getting sick. I don't know that it's killed anybody who isn't already sick. And like your claim that I'm going to die if I get the vaccine, rather dramatic. I don't buy it. Anyways, thank you, YouTube. You're listening to an insane person talk about this vaccine.